Hello guys, it's CTR Gaming here, and I've got a new video for you today. As you see in the title, it is FIFA 17 FUT Draft Improvements and the Wish List. So basically, I'm just going to put a footage of a recent 191 that I got, my first one ever actually, and I'm just going to talk to you guys about some things that I think would make the FUT Draft a little better in FIFA 17, because this is the first year that the FUT Draft has been out. It's been in FIFA 16, no other games. So you know, there's still room for improvement despite the fact that it is well loved by most people in the FIFA community. Everyone loves the FUT Draft, but there's still room for improvement, and I'm going to talk about that today. So the first point I came up with would be FUT Draft and then drafting consumables at the end of it. So like, for example, right now you can only get 23 player cards and 1 manager card, and at times the manager only gives you 1 or 2 chem at best. Most times it will give you 1 or 2 chem. But if you could draft consumables at the end, like for example a position modifier, if I was to get a position modifier which was left wing to left forward, if that came up on my 5 choices of position modifiers and I chose that, I could put it on Ronaldo. He would then go from I think 3 or 4 chem, well he's only 4 chem because he's got that manager, but he'd go from 3 chem all the way to 7 chem, and that's a plus 4 chem, so that's really going to help get your draft on 100 chem. And also, when you're drafting this consumable position modifier, you could also do an attribute card. If you get a plus 15 pace or a plus 6 all attributes, it would just, you know, spice things up a bit, get some extra attributes for one of your players, and you know, just make FUT Draft a little more enjoyable at times by getting some consumables into the mix. The next point I have is different types of FUT Draft, because I'm sure you've probably already seen on YouTube. People have been making these slot machine and spin the wheel, you know, versions of draft, which would be really cool if EA added it in next year. But I've got my own idea that's sort of a bit complicated. Basically, it's kind of like a FUT Draft bingo where you're in a lobby with 16 people and you get assigned a number 1 to 16. So say I could get assigned a number 7, and then whoever's number gets picked out the box or the bag or whatever, you know, through a little animation. They would get to pick from all the pool of players in the game. Once someone picks a player, then it's gone. So you know, if my number gets picked out first, I'll probably pick someone like Pele because he links with everyone. So I might not get the players I want if everyone else takes them, and I could get drawn 16th. You never know, and get like a terrible selection. But yeah, basically that would be a good idea, but it would be a bit complicated, and I'm not sure how EA would work around that. The next point is that you could redo a draft. You know, it's if you get knocked out in a draft, you could potentially pay another 15,000 coins on top of what you already paid to enter, and then you could redo that draft. I don't think you should be allowed, though, if that was in the game. I don't think anyone who won the draft should be allowed to do that, because obviously if they won, then they don't really need to redo the draft. But if you get knocked out, you pay another 15k and you basically get a redo of your draft. My next point is, I think that in FIFA 17 they should make draft tokens more accessible, because personally I've never had one in the pack and not that many people have. So to make them not unfair, because if people just got them all the time, I guess that would be a bit unfair, but also to make them more accessible, I would say that you need 3 draft tokens to enter a draft. So each one is worth 5k, but then you know, they come up in packs more often since you now need 3 of them to enter the draft. I think that would be a lot better if EA done something like that. Getting into the last few points here is, I think that this one isn't really for draft, it's for FIFA in general, but I think we need more managers. Normally you can just put, you know, a manager league on the manager, but in draft you can't do that. So you know, I think they don't have any Liga BBVA managers, no Bundesliga. I don't even think they have any League 1. They're 3 of the best leagues in the world. I mean, there's managers like Simeone, like Zidane, and lots of other managers who aren't in FIFA. I think it would be good to put them in, especially for draft, considering there's no manager leagues in draft. And then you could, you know, get that Liga BBVA manager in draft for 17. That would be very nice, and it would really improve the current state of the managers in draft. Next point is, I think that they should have, you know, like a draft history, so you can see every draft you've done, how far you got in the draft with that draft, and you know, like all the ratings and stuff, and just see every draft that you've ever done on FIFA, and just, you know, browse through them and stuff, see some of the past drafts you've done. And my final point for this video, which I think would improve, the FIFA 17 FUT Draft, would be if there was a draft leaderboard. It would be similar to the leaderboard that's on FIFA right now, which I'll show you in a minute, except instead of saying like top squad or whatever, it would say draft squad, and you could also have like a highest number of man of the matches and a leaderboard for that as well, or highest number of team of the seasons. I think that would be a very good idea if there was a draft leaderboard on FIFA, and it would improve the mode. I mean, I'm not sure if EA will do any of these ideas that I've mentioned. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it's coming up at the end of this video. Comment your favourite idea, what you would most like to see in FIFA 17 down below in the comments. And make sure to like and subscribe. CTO Gaming, signing out. Peace.